What's up, guys? Welcome to Champion Picks. I'm Jared Champion, and this edition of Champion Picks is our NFL Week 10 fantasy football. I'm going to talk about the pickups I did last week. I'm going to give a few pickups. This will definitely be my last regular fantasy football video in the year. Out of the 4,000 channel views we get, this video only gets about 300, so I feel like people are just kind of telling off fantasy. They already have the team that they want, or they're out of the playoffs, so they've lost interest. So we only do 4 videos a week here, but this time slot now will be taken up by English Premier League / Champions League, UEFA Champions League soccer. So we'll be giving soccer plays on Mondays, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you're into soccer, that's cool. You can tune in. If not, if you have fantasy questions for me, I will definitely take them. I'll still be doing my DraftKings video on Tuesdays and my normal NFL and college picks throughout the week. So let's actually just take a look at how we did with our suggestions last week. Tim Hightower had a good game. I think he had like 16 fantasy points. The Saints are definitely running back by committee, so that was a good pickup. Sharkandrick West was pretty good. They just didn't do that well moving the ball. He had like 3 catches for 30 yards and 12 carries for 37 yards. So he got you like 7 points in standard and like 12 in PPR. So not that bad if you had to use him as a streaming running back. Tyreek Hill actually had some catches and some rushes. So that was pretty cool. Let's talk about pickups for this week. I don't have any slide for you with pickups on it, but I do want to talk about Capri Bibbs for the Denver Broncos. He did get a lot of touches versus Oakland. I think he had like 16 fantasy points. And then Eli Manning is definitely a streamable quarterback. Taylor Gabriel for Atlanta had a pretty good game too. He had, I want to say 14 fantasy points. Maybe not worth the pickup, but definitely somebody to keep an eye on. If anybody like Sanu or Julio gets an injury, Taylor Gabriel will be somebody interesting to look at. What my lineup in the draft looks like compared to my lineup now. So in the draft, this is an auction league, so you bid on players. I spent the most on Lamar Miller. As you see over here, I don't even have Lamar Miller. I combo traded Lamar Miller and Jordy Nelson to get Julio Jones. I play for championships. Nobody cares if you get second or third. In most good leagues, you don't even get any money for second or third. You're not going to care if you make the playoffs and you don't win. So I make very high-risk, high-reward trades that do well for playoffs. So knowing that Arizona plays teams that are in their division like Tampa Bay, the Saints, and Carolina, Atlanta's going to have an easy schedule during the playoffs, fantasy playoffs, that is, for Julio Jones to catch a lot of balls, so that's why I made that trade. I still have Carlos Hyde. Keenan Allen, I lost week 1 for injuries. Tom Brady, he was on bye last week, but he definitely carries my team from here on out. T.Y. Hilton, he's been off and on, but he does have those huge games that really pick you up. Jonathan Stewart. And then if you look at the rest of everybody, I don't even have any of these guys left. They're all been traded and picked up. So out of my original team, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 players. 4 players. The rest were pickups and trades and stuff like that. So this kind of just shows you like the type of moves you're making and the type of drastic moves that need to be made to stay competitive. I know a lot of people that aren't very I wouldn't say good, but very familiar with like how to stay competitive in fantasy football. It's all about your pickups. Like your draft really doesn't matter. Like unless you're one of those people that just got a huge lucky draft and got, Tom Brady and I can't even think, David Johnson, and you picked up Zeke Elliott, you went 1-2 running back. Yeah, you're sitting pretty right now, but that really doesn't happen. Everybody gets big injuries. Everybody has to make adjustments. So just showing you, like, I'm in the run for the playoffs. I think I'm sitting like 3rd or 4th right now out of a 12-team league. So it just kind of shows you like what the difference is when you're actually making like really active pickups. And if you see, I have Tim Hightower and CJ Posey, and those 2 guys were just like pickups, the last 2 weeks. And the streamers, like I picked up Quincy Enunwa when he was first a streamer. And Cameron Brate, and these guys are scoring points for me now. So it kind of just goes to show like what you can get off the waiver wires. And I got Theo Riddick while he was hurt off the waiver wires. I picked him up and stashed him. So just stay active on those waiver wires. There's one thing I wanted you to look at. Scott Clark works for ESPN. Probably the biggest, most notable fantasy football league is called the War Room League. It's a 16-team PPR league, and it's played by all your favorite ESPN guys. So your Chris Mortensens, your Boomers, your Phil Yates and your Matthew Berrys and all these fantasy people, they play in this one big league. It's usually 2-person per team. So it's like 32 guys, 16 teams, and they coach it together. And I've heard rumors about the payout on this league being like over 50 grand, so you can imagine what the buy-in is. But Scott Clark on Twitter at all_biz tweets out all the pickups in this league. And I particularly like to follow Chris Mortensen. Mort makes some pickups, and you're like, who the hell is this guy that Mort's picking up? And then all of a sudden, that guy goes off like 2 weeks from now. So a 16-team league with analysts from ESPN, and you can watch, who picks up who. So this being a 16-team league, these people that are on their waiver wire will definitely be on your waiver wire. So it's kind of cool just to look and see, what the high echelon of the quote-unquote best fantasy players out there are picking up in the toughest leagues. And that's a lot of the pickups that I like to call are based off what Scott Clark tweets about. So if you want to check out his Twitter for the rest of the year, you can see if any long shots get picked up that you might like. Thanks for the support again, guys. You can click and get my DraftKings plays and my NFL plays. I'll put them up as the videos come up. And just stay tuned. Next week we'll have some EPL plays if you're into soccer. Have a good one.